You're listening to the Business Marketing Show, Episode 1. You can find us at businessmarketingshow.com.
Welcome to the Business Marketing Show. I'm Brendan from the Search Engine Shop, here with my co-host Ed K. Smith, and we're here to talk to you about all things online business marketing, building robust, reliable, all-terrain businesses by properly using the internet.
Well said, Brendan.
How'd that go? Was that a good intro?
That was a very good intro. Hi everyone, Ed K. Smith from onlineimpact.com, and yes, we are here to impart some hopefully useful information to anyone that has a web presence or is looking at having a web presence that requires help in building their website correctly, getting traffic to that website, monetizing it, and avoiding some of the pitfalls that a lot of people fall into when they get online and start building a website.
Ready to drop some knowledge bombs. That's it, Ed.
Knowledge bombs. We'll have to trademark that name, Brendan.
Yeah, dude.
So welcome. Thanks for listening. This is the episode number 1 of the Business Marketing Show, which Brendan said before. So
it's also Friday morning, so
yes, and Brendan and I are recording this via Skype. So hopefully we won't have any technical issues, but if there are, we'll fix them up, won't we, Brendan?
Sure, that's your job, right? You fix that. We edit that out. So
yeah, we can.
You're
edit
the podcasting guy. Normally,
that's it exactly.
I'll rely on your expertise.
First off the bat, the whole website building business has changed a lot over the years. There's a very strong focus currently to people who are building e-commerce websites, which we will cover in depth. That will be one of the main focuses of this podcast. And Brendan has quite a lot of experience in the whole e-commerce game. So what we thought we'd do is just give you a little bit of a brief background about who Brendan is, who Ed is, who are these chumps that are talking to you now, what do they know, what right do they have to sit here and talk this stuff to you. So we'll give you a synopsis on who we are, what we do, what we've been doing, and let you decide whether we should be talking to you or not. And on that note, I'll hand it over to Brendan.
Well, Ed, tell me about your business. What's your business name and what do you do?
So that was very good, Brendan. Right back at me. Handballed it back straight at me. So our business is called Online Impact. We've been around now for about 10 years. We used to be called AdWords Marketing initially, but we changed name in recent years to have a broader spectrum. We got started, we were one of the first companies in Australia to manage and consult with clients for their Google AdWords campaigns. That was back in 2003, so 11 years ago now. And we also work in the web development game. We have a team of 12 people that do web design, and also working in conjunction with Brendan, we also do SEO. But our main focus is web development, traffic, and also Brendan and I co-host a lot of different workshops in the Perth area that we've been doing for a few years. So we just help people improve their web presence and traffic and conversions.
Cool.
Over to you.
Online.
Domination, that's it.
Domination. Online domination. So my background's in IT. So I started my first business when I was 1998. So I must have been 18. Started an IT company and ran that for 8 years. And while running that IT company, we came across an online store, me and my business partner at the time, and we took that over. We built that to mid-6 figures. So at the time, we built that using SEO. I didn't know what SEO was at the time, but I knew if I changed things on the website, we ranked higher on Google, and social media. So ran that for a few years, and then in 2008 started the consulting business I have now. So the business I run now is the Search Engine Shop, or the searchengineshop.com. And we work with 3 types of clients. So we work with kind of small businesses or local businesses, typically businesses that have like a physical presence that people go to or they visit, like retail stores and accommodation businesses, things like that. We work with e-commerce businesses, so mid 6-figure and 7-figure business owners. I do consulting. We do some services for them. And then we do some work with corporate marketing departments as well. So similar to you, Ed, we do some SEO stuff. So SEO is kind of our lead service or getting more traffic. And then we also do quite a bit of technical IT-ish stuff still, although I don't really like to promote that because I don't like being the IT guy anymore.
Does that mean I have to edit that out?
No, you can leave that in.
All right, we'll leave that in.
I'm referred to as all sorts of things, my web guy, my IT guy, that guy who does the website stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we lead with traffic, but we're kind of like you, a bit of a one-stop shop. We do WordPress web development. We do IT stuff. We do some AdWords stuff, but it's kind of at the low end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so we've got you covered. Between the two of us,
yeah,
we have a pretty broad spread of technology and experience in the web side of things.
Yeah. I met you in like 2009, 2010 when we started doing
2000, yeah,
workshops.
end of 2009, beginning 2010, around there. We started running workshops through Oz Industry and the federal government. So we were sponsored by them with several other people who some of will end up on this podcast in different areas of specialty like photography and graphic design and business strategies and things like that. So. And PR. So we'll cover those areas as well. We'll have some guests on the show other than Brendan and I. But I think the thing we want to impart is there's a lot of people now who are a bit lost. They don't know what to do at all different levels. Whether you're someone who's in a corporate environment who has a website, it's gotten to a certain level, but you want to move it to that next level and ramp it up and just start dominating your marketplace, we can help you. And that's where we prefer to work, so that's our sort of main area of focus is those types of businesses. But we're happy to talk to different people and see if we can help you. If it gets to that stage, you can always ask us a question. If we can't help you, we can't. We can always refer you on to someone else that can.
Yeah, I think if we can deliver like one action point or thinking point per podcast, we're doing pretty well, right?
Yep, absolutely. But there's usually there'll be more than that, but.
One high quality.
Because we can't help ourselves, can we?
Yeah, we could dribble on about this stuff all day long, right?
We could. So, a couple of areas, a couple of what we like to call quick wins, things that can help people who are listening to this podcast for the first time, that can go away in under half an hour or so, which is typically the length of the podcast. We'll give them some information on things they can go away and action and actually start measuring the improvements that have been made from those actions. Instant
action points, Ed.
Instant action. That's it. Yeah. So what's the first one, Mr. Brendan?
Well, I have 4. So like we were talking about before the call, regardless of what you know, these things you should be doing, and they're pretty easy to do, and you can DIY them. You don't need, well, to a certain extent, you can DIY them. You don't need a whole bunch of research time. Like I see a lot of people who they want to do a website rebuild and it takes them a year of researching and talking to people and everything else. These ones you can do today and get the ball rolling. So that's why I guess we're calling them quick wins. So we work with, as you know, Ed, Matt from Photography Project. Mm-hmm. We do the workshops with. So yes. I'm hounding clients constantly about the crappy photos, the crappy images they have on their website. Like, the same guy that you see on every website, that guy who's like 50 and he's like in a business suit with a little smirk on his face.
Silvery hair, glasses.
We should get a photo and put it in the show notes.
Yep.
Stock photos are like dead. Like, it's ridiculous the number of times you see that guy on buses, on websites. And like, everybody's using it online. So it makes sense that if you have good quality photos of your people and team, that you can really stand out. When if someone's looking at your website and a competitor's website, all things being equal, if you have good photos of real people and they have stock photos that look just so fake, you're going to win. Like, it's hands down like a no-brainer. And you can use the photos for years. Like, Matt took photos for me when we started the workshops in 2010, and I'm still using those photos. I use them all the time.
Oh, is that why you don't look like you've aged? Oh,
dude, I'm young. Come on.
Age is all relevant. But I agree. I mean, I think the only thing you can get away with using stock photos for is generic objects. Yeah. Like a photo of a bowl or a ball or a car or a dog or something that people wouldn't know that it was yours or a photo that you've taken or not. But yeah, definitely, I agree. When it gets down to very specific items, like Matt does a lot of product photography. So if you've got specific products that you're selling that are unique to you, things you've manufactured or whatever it is, then the photos need to be A-class because that's what people are looking at. So.
Yeah. And you can't photography is not something you can kind of be a tight ass about either. Like I see some clients get photos taken of, someone's friend who has a SLR camera, and that's great, but there's a lot that goes into a good photo. Like it's, the composition of the photo, the lighting, how it's framed. And then I've seen Matt, totally transform photos when he's doing post-production stuff.
Yeah, excellent.
It's not super expensive. It's not, bargain basement dirt cheap either to have professional photos done, but you invest once and you can use those photos for years. I think it's a no-brainer.
Cool. So that's something in future podcasts we'll probably deep dive a bit more into, that whole photography area. We'll have Matt Reed on from Photography Project, and we'll go through some specific things with that. And again, it's one of the important things to remember when you're running a business is initially, yes, if you're in a startup phase, there's going to be a degree of bootstrapping where you're trying to do some things yourself. But eventually, if you want to grow and you want to expand what you're doing, you have to outsource or employ other people to do these things. You can't be good at everything. You'll either be bad at everything or good at one thing, which is building your business, working on your business, not in it, and getting other people to fill those gaps. So hire out things that you're bad at doing and get the people who are good at doing it to do it.
Yep. And also, I just want to add to that. I would say, in terms of photography, people photos, you can do 360-degree product shots. You can also do Google Street View photos of inside of your business that link into Google Street View and Google Maps, and also give you a little bit of a ranking boost as well. So we will link to those in the show notes because people think photos and whatever, but there's a lot of new photo technologies you can also use.
Yes, too true. It's a rapid changing world. There's a lot of tools now that can assist you with that sort of stuff. So awesome. Next was video. Is that?
Well, I have photography and video as one point. I would say everyone talks about video, but nobody talks about photography. So I would do photography before video.
Yep.
Video is definitely a game changer if it's done well. So I would say some people, yes, you can use an iPhone to take video, but again, just like photos, there's a lot that goes into a good video, more than a good photo. So I don't know what your opinion is, but I think video is still something that people are afraid to get in front of the camera. So if you can do it well, it's definitely a game changer. But if you do it crap, it's going to hurt you. Yeah. What do you think?
And absolutely. But I think the thing to remember with video is you don't physically have to have someone or the person in a video. Like we do quite a lot of videos for clients now where we're using the whiteboard scribe technique, where there's images and people talking, but true. There's not. There might be photos. Again, it comes into having good quality photo that appears within this animated video. So it's not necessarily a person or a talking heads just sitting there doing a video. We try and make them a little bit more interactive and descriptive and call to action based. So there's something at the end or in the middle of the video that they can click to get them to do something. So you can do videos in all sorts of different ways. And but I think if you're going to do really, really poor quality videos, don't do them at all. Shot on your iPhone, even though iPhones these days take pretty good video, it needs to be a combination. The video quality needs to be good, the lighting needs to be good, and the audio needs to be good. So you need to be mic'd up properly and all that sort of stuff. So do it properly or don't do it at all. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I think we could do a whole episode on video, yeah. Maybe we should get Matt to come in and do a photography episode, and then we can do a video one with him after that.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Yes.
Easy.
So they're in the same basket. So images and video can make or break a website, in my opinion, and in obviously Brendan's opinion. So
yep. Cool. All right. Next one. SEO best practices. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Yes.
I would say essential. I have here 3 points. I have one is indexability. So I would, like technical jargon, the ability for search engines to find your website and actually display you in the search results.
Yes, absolutely. And some websites are blocked and the search engines can't find them, or the robot tags, which is a bit of code on your site, giving instructions to the search engines of what they can see and what they can't see, often are not set up correctly, so the search engines aren't indexing the correct pages. Or quite often what I see happen a lot is people who build websites in WordPress, there's a little select point inside, or a little tab that you can select in the settings that completely hide the website from getting indexed from the search engines. And often when a new WordPress website is built, people forget to take that off. I had a client whose website was running for 7 months. We didn't build the site, by the way. And whoever did the site for them, who will remain nameless because I know who they were, had left that checked. So their website was not indexed by Google for 7 months. So yes, that's a very, very good thing to be careful of.
Yeah, I think also how you show up in the search results is important. Having titles and meta description sets,
yes. Yeah.
Which we can link to. I'll link to an article in the show notes for that. And there's also a quick test you can do to return the search results for how Google sees your website. So basically, type into Google site, yourdomainname.com, and it will display all the search results for your business. When I'm talking to clients on the phone, like people call me for SEO advice, I do that while I'm talking to them, and it gives me I can see immediately whether there's massive scope for improvement or not. So that's a really quick test you can do as a business owner to see how your website's actually being shown to people in Google. Mm-hmm. And I would also say that you need to be number one for your business name. So
yeah, that's a given, isn't it?
Yeah, because if someone refers your business to someone else, the first thing that person is going to do is go to Google and Google you. So if you don't show up, you've lost that referral in effect. Yeah. Which kind of brings me to the next point. I've got 3 points in this SEO best practices is showing up on Google Places or Google Maps, whatever it's called today, Google Plus Local. Again, if someone Googles your business, if you're like a retail business or a place where people go to, you need to be on Google Maps.
Definitely.
Non-negotiable, right?
Non-negotiable, for sure.
And it needs to be in the right spot. Like people on Google Maps, and the pin thing is in totally the wrong place. Like I go to places all the time. I'm like, where's the store? It's like 500 meters down the street, like nowhere near where the pin says it is.
Very handy. Yes, very, very true.
Oh, and I sent out a mail out. You might have seen it last week. You can now, so Bing Places is now available in Australia and a bunch of other countries. So Bing, Microsoft search engine, you can now get on their maps. Previously, you had to be in Yellow Pages in Australia, which is a nightmare. Let's not talk about Yellow Pages, but that's worth checking out as well. We'll put a link to that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And people discount Bing, and I think that's a bit of a mistake, really, because, okay, it's a small portion of the marketplace, but when people buy Windows computers, it's already preloaded with Internet Explorer, which is already preloaded with Bing search engine stuff on it. So there's a lot of people that, like I had a client yesterday who was looking at stuff and saying, I can't see, I'm not showing up. And he was supposed to be looking on Google, and he was looking on Bing, and he couldn't see what I was trying to get him to look at. And I'm going, no, you're actually on Bing, not on Google. So, there is a little bit of confusion sometimes with the two different search engines, even though Google is, so much bigger.
And people use the Windows mobile devices now as well. There's quite a few of those around. So
yeah.
So be on Bing and Google, and in the Google Maps, get 5 reviews, at least 5 reviews, because once you have 5 or more reviews, you'll rank a little bit higher, and you'll stand out in the search results because you get stars next to your business name.
Correct, Amundo.
Cool. Okay, last one for SEO, which is not purely SEO. It's for e-commerce businesses, Google product listing ads.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I would say if you have an e-commerce business, you need to be running product listing ads, which are kind of a hybrid between SEO and AdWords. Mm-hmm. You kind of, I don't know, how do you explain it? But paid inclusion?
Yeah, it's a paid inclusion. So you're showing up when someone does a search on a product or a particular, especially if you're selling something that's commonly searched on, or is a model number or that type of thing, you're going to show up in the paid results with images. So people are seeing a shopping cart image load up rather than just text.
Yep.
So
yeah, I think and it's cheaper than AdWords too, right? For the clients we run product PLAs for, we see, depending on the market, usually 10 cents to $1 a click, whereas regular AdWords, it's $1 to $5 a click. So it's a lot cheaper as well, right?
Now, you said product PLA. What we have to be very careful of, Brendan and I, is because I do this all the time. We use acronyms a lot in the web marketing game. There's so many, and because we use them every day, we sort of just assume that other people know what they are. So we're going to go out of our way to make sure we say what these acronyms are. So you just said PLA. So what does PLA mean?
PLA, product listing ads.
There you go. That's the PLA.
Yep.
Good job.
Cool. Okay, so that's the three I have for SEO best practices.
Awesome.
What do you think?
Yep, fantastic. And in the comment section of the blog, if you have any questions, you can always ask specific ones, and we'll do our best to try and answer them for you.
Easy. Cool, man. Okay, next one. Ed, how's your website running at the moment? Fast?
No, my website at the moment, Brendan, he's having a stab at me, because before we started recording this particular podcast, I was having issues with my website loading it extremely slowly, and we were talking about different hosting options, and I'm saying, look, I'm going to move away from these guys. I won't say who they are. I'm not going to do that. But so yes, web hosting and the speed that your website loads is important for several reasons. The enjoyment of the visitor to the site, so they're not sitting there waiting, because then they're just going to click the back button and disappear. And it also has an impact for your search engine rankings, because Google does actually look at how fast your website is loading, and incorporates that into its algorithm of where you're placed. That's my viewpoint on it. Maybe you had something completely different.
Well, I've got the broad point that technology that works. So,
okay,
yeah, a website that loads fast, for sure. Good quality web hosting. Mm-hmm. Is that what we'd call that recommendation?
Yes, good quality. A lot of people go for cheap and nasty, and you end up with cheap and nasty results.
Yeah, I think cheap is fine if you're starting out, but like for me, so when I look at website speed, I think the website needs to load in under 5 seconds.
Yep.
Optimal is 1 to 2 seconds. So that's fantastic if it loads in 1 to 2 seconds. It needs to be under 5 seconds. If it's just over 5 seconds, whatever. But, when we're talking 10 to 20 seconds, something's wrong. Like the server has a problem, or your hosting plan isn't big enough or high enough, or it might be a code issue with the website as well, or you've got like a massive image. But my yardstick is if it's under 5 seconds, that's okay. I was talking to my friend Rob Hanley last week. I recommend WP Engine for WordPress hosting. It is like this. I was telling you before the show, it's magic. Mm-hmm. So my friend Rob had a site. It's an old site. He hasn't touched in a few years. 15 to 20 second load time. I'm telling at least a couple of people a week, get on WP Engine. It's on WP Engine now, and he has like 1 second load time, 2 second load time, just by moving the site across. So
yeah,
it's an easy win. You know yourself. If the site, if you're half interested in something, the site's taking too long to load, you'll just close the window. Yep.
And I was closing the window on my own website, so
yeah, man, for sure.
That's not good. And I haven't had that issue in the past. I've had it occasionally where things would be a little slow, but this is obviously an issue that I'm trying to sort out. So by the time this podcast goes live, it's probably all right. But I think I will be moving across to WP Engine. So,
yep. And I just want to point out as well, Ed, so WP Engine is great if you're happy to do it yourself. If you know nothing about hosting, you're better using your web guy, your online marketing guy, because they will manage the hosting. But you still need to be wary that it needs to be fast. So we sell hosting to our clients, mm-hmm. and it's a managed hosting service. So on top of the hosting, we have support. We fix it if it's broken, and we have a few other things. We have backup on top of that as well. So if you're going to DIY, I think WP Engine's great. If you just want to set and forget, you're better having someone local or somebody you have a relationship with who is managing that hosting, I think.
Yes, very good point. And so ultimately, all web hosting is not created equal. And a lot of people just think that it's a standard thing, and they can either pay $5 a month for it, and why would they want to pay $30 a month for it? Well, they're very often two very different systems and two different services. So
yeah, for sure.
Do your research.
I use tools.pingdom.com as my quick speed test.
Yes.
So if it loads under 5 seconds on there, then we're doing pretty well.
So 2 minutes and 65 seconds is not good then?
Oh, so it's probably not optimal.
I'm suffering from the mechanic with a car that's blowing smoke at the moment, so I've got to get onto that.
The other point I have here in technology that works, email hosting that works. So I mean, the two big ones: fast website hosting and website backups. Essential. I won't even get into that. And then email. Most people have, like a lot of mine. I won't say most people. A lot of clients that come to me, the email hosting is rubbish. The email is down for like the amount of times I get. Oh, sorry, my email was down. I lost the emails. I can't believe that. Today's world, it's 2014 now?
Yes.
That I'm still seeing problems with email hosting. It's ridiculous.
So yes, good quality. And any recommendations on what you use?
I only use and recommend Google Apps. I don't know about what yours is, but
yeah,
that would be my recommendation.
Same deal.
Yeah, Microsoft have so Google Apps is Google's cloud-hosted email product. It used to actually be free for up to 10 user accounts, but now you have to pay for it. But it's only $5 a mailbox per month, so it's still it's nothing really compared to the days. 10 years ago, I remember we had a big email server that thousands of dollars for the server, thousands of dollars for the software, and then we had thousands of dollars of equipment to back it up. Now you're paying $5 per mailbox per month. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and much more reliable too.
Yeah, for sure. But Microsoft have a similar product. So if you're like more traditional business and you're heavy Outlook users and use shared calendars and all that sort of stuff, the Microsoft solution might be a better one. I think it's called Office 365.
Office 365, Office 365. Yeah. So, yeah, cool.
Okay.
So,
cool,
and again, these things will go into more detail over the coming podcasts.
But I think if your email hosting works, your website hosting works, it's fast, you've kind of got the 80-20 covered of technology that works, right?
Yeah. Dead true indeed. Alrighty, well.
I've got one more point.
Go for it.
So, this one I could rant about a little bit. I see a lot of stuff online, we're in the online marketing space and people talking about things like conversion optimization and percentages of whatever improvements and change this color and move this around. Mm-hmm. It's all good and well, but I'm still having conversations with clients about actually being able to accept orders or bookings or payments or conversions through their website.
Yes.
I can't believe it's 2014 and I'm having almost arguments with customers that they should have a buy now button and a credit card form on their website so people can buy off them 24/7. What do you think?
That is a absolute no-brainer. It has to be done. It's not even like if you're not doing that and you're selling a product or service where you can take orders for online and you don't have that in place, well, you're just leaving massive amounts of money on the table and your competitors are picking it up. So yeah, don't have a buy now button, don't have a shopping cart, don't have a payment system. You're losing money, hand over fist.
Yeah, I mean, the bit like I see the big culprit is because, like we were saying before the call, I work with quite a few like small accommodation providers. They might have 10 rooms or 5 villas or whatever it is, and they don't have a book now button online. That's crazy. Like everyone is conditioned to book flights and accommodation, everything online. So if you are, if you have an accommodation website, you are actually losing money by not having that book now button on the website. And people have some fears about, I think, taking credit cards online as well, which they're probably not justified. Some people think it costs a lot of money. Mm-hmm. It doesn't. You can use PayPal to take. So a lot of people don't know that if you have a PayPal account, you can actually accept credit cards as well, not just PayPal payments.
Yep.
It's expensive, like particularly in the accommodation space. They can get like an online booking engine for like $25 a month or something ridiculous like that.
That's very expensive.
Yeah, just you need to be able to accept the orders online. Like you need to have a credit card form. People need to be able to hit that and book it.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say, Ed. Like,
well, look, it has to be done. It's it's petrol in your car. Own the car, but don't put petrol in it. Well, what's the point of owning the car? It's like, why have a website and not having something to fuel that website and take money? So it's crazy. I mean, the whole PayPal scenario has been around for at least 10 years. I've been using it for taking money and payments for it must be at least 10 years, and that's a very straightforward thing to set up as just setting up a PayPal business account. So that's at least the starting point, and then you can go into getting merchant accounts later when you start growing or taking higher volumes of orders. But PayPal is good enough for most people to get started with if they're taking under a couple hundred orders a month or something. So.
Yep. And I would also say, if you already have the buy now button and you're only using PayPal, or you only have one kind of merchant provider, so, one processor for processing your credit cards, you should find another one ASAP. Like, you should have two, particularly if you're doing order volume. Like, if you're doing a decent amount of money through that buy now button, you need to really have two payment providers, because often they break, things go wrong. PayPal has been known to close accounts or freeze accounts, so I think it's important that if you have an established e-commerce business or a website that's taking orders online, that you have two forms of electronic payment, or the ability to take electronic payment by two methods. So for us, in Australia, eWay is like the credit card, like the main credit card payment processor. So we use eWay and we use PayPal. So if PayPal breaks, we have eWay. If eWay's broken, people can use PayPal. So because it's technology, you got to expect it to go down,
Yeah,
so,
and that would just be having the two options on the site, so people can click on the PayPal logo to pay with that, or they click on another. Yeah, so cool.
Credit card.
Yep. All right. Well, we've hit the end of our 30 minutes, so I think that was some good info to start with, but we'll be going into further detail in weeks to come. Thanks, Brendan.
Thank you, Ed. Have a good day. It's Friday. Friday's my favourite day of the week.
Yes, that's why we like doing the podcast, because we're all chirpy on a Friday.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, mate. I'll see you next week.
Bye now. You've been listening to Business Marketing Show at businessmarketingshow.com, where you can find us on iTunes. Just look for Business Marketing Show.